Hey, welcome to the Chronicle YouTube channel. I'm your host, Busta B. I am hanging out with Will C. Rivers. What does the C stand for?
Christopher.
Christopher, okay.
That's right.
Man, good to hang out with you, man. You're a firefighter, man. We appreciate all that you do.
Yes, sir.
You and the crew here, man.
Yes, sir.
That's a big deal.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I got to ask you something that I've always wanted to ask. Do they really have those firefighter calendars that we hear about?
They have them, but we don't have them.
Well, you don't have them?
No, we don't have them there. I don't think they're ready for us.
They ain't ready for you?
No, they're not ready for that yet.
Dude, that is crazy because women go crazy over those calendars. That's crazy, man. Man, you from here?
Yes, sir.
Winston-Salem native.
That's right.
Born
and raised.
And you know, a lot of times when you hear about local boy made good, you know, that's somebody that either on TV or became a basketball player. But you local boy made good, man. This is your dream.
Well, I don't know about local boy made good. Local boy making it. That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, I look at it as made good.
Right.
I mean, you're a firefighter. Little boys dream to be this.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And here you are doing it, doing something that everyone in the country finally acknowledging.
Absolutely.
And overdue.
Absolutely.
Overdue. Let me ask you this real quick. When you get a call and it's a bad one, what's on your mind?
Getting there and getting it done. I mean, as soon as you get in there, training kicks in. Just like in the military, just like everything else, training kicks in. As soon as we get there, get on scene, we get the instructions from the captain, and then it's go, go, go. It's usually pretty fluid.
Right. So you're not thinking about anything but getting it done.
So just getting it done. You don't have time to think about anything else. Because
Right.
once it's going, once the situation is active, you know, it's go time. There's no time to what if.
Right.
What if, you know, gets people killed. So.
That's a good point. When you hear about situations in California, those wildfires there, are you and the guys thinking, man, I wish I was there to help? Or,
Absolutely.
I'm glad I'm not there to help?
We all wish we were there to help. We sympathize greatly with them. Pray for our brothers out there in California.
Absolutely.
Because they're out there doing it and they're getting it handed to them. A buddy of mine that's actually on the truck with me today told me that he has a buddy that's out there now that was on one for 48 hours straight before they even had a rest. So, I mean, they're getting it.
Fighting the fire 2 days straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
They're fighting tooth and nail out there, and I wish there was more we could do over here for them.
Right.
But, you know, the best thing we can do is prepare ourselves so that if we're in that type of situation that we can handle it on our end as well.
Right. And that's fantastic to hear that when you guys hear about something like that, you're thinking it'd be nice if we can be there to support our brothers and sisters. That's big, man. Absolutely. We sitting on one of the trucks now.
Yeah, this is my truck. This is well, not my truck, but this is the truck that I ride on. You know, this is truck 14. This is the ladder truck. This is where the action happens. The engine company puts the fire out. The ladder truck does the rescues and effect rescues. So
Take us through a day.
All right, the day here is
take us through a routine. You know, you get a call about a fire, and this is a big one. Take us through one of the routines.
All right, so you get a call about a fire. Dispatches 5 engines. I mean, five trucks altogether. 3 engines, 2 trucks. You got a safety. You got battalion chiefs and things like that.
Right.
We all get on scene. First one on scene, come out there. The captain assesses, does a 360 around, and then he makes a decision on what line of pool, where it's going, and they go. First in truck company goes in, and we either do vent, enter, and search, or we're gonna assist by ventilating a roof or something like that. And every other company that comes after that, the next engine company will either do they'll either pick up the backup line or they'll secure a hydrant to make sure we don't run out of water. And then everybody else, you have a company that fire truck just on standby. In the event that anything goes wrong, they're coming to get the rest of us out.
Right.
So we have every area, every facet covered on any given occasion. Whether it's a small kitchen fire or it's a big house fire, we have all our bases covered.
And it all matters, no matter how small.
It all matters, absolutely.
Right.
From places to kills.
That's serious, dude.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You wear a lot of hats, brother. You with EMT?
Absolutely, sir. But I'm public safety with Forsyth Hospital.
Okay, there you go, Forsyth Hospital. But you've been in the military.
Yes, sir.
You're a corporal.
Yes, sir.
Right. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, corporal in the Marine Corps is small unit leadership.
Right.
It's pretty much the middleman between the lower Marines and the sergeants.
Okay.
And you give orders, but you do it on a small level. You have anywhere between 4, 12, and sometimes 15 Marines that are under your charge, and you just lead from the front and get things done.
Right. That's serious, man. And the Marines are those are the
big
big boys.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
those are big boys. My best friend Alex Ricketts was a Marine.
Oh yeah.
He's now a lieutenant with the Greensboro Police Department.
Oh wow.
So you both are kind of in that little situation. How do you handle all of these different hats along with school?
Well, it just, there's 24 hours in a day, and I just spread it out accordingly. I leave from one job, go straight to the next one. Sometimes go straight to the next one, get a little bit of sleep, go back to the first one, and it all happens over and over again.
How you get that studying in?
I get it in anytime I can. If I'm on a meal break at one of my other jobs, I do it then. While I'm here between calls is when I get the majority of it done.
Right.
Like I was in the middle of actually doing a project right before you called, texted me and told me that you were coming.
Right.
Yeah, I was in the middle of doing a project then, and I mean, I've got 95s in all of my classes. I mean,
well, that's serious, dude.
Absolutely.
So you're a focused young man. This story, I'm sure, is going to inspire a lot of young people out there watching this. This is big because it's hard to just handle school, period.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a job in itself.
I'm no exception. It's rough. School is the hardest part of my life right now.
Well, you are an exception because you're handling 3 gigs that requires a lot of mental, spiritual, and physical ability. And I'm sure sometimes this can be draining. Where do you go when you feel like your fuel is getting low?
But that's the thing. I go to work. What we do here on the EMS truck and in public safety, that's what fuels me to continue to do it. The thank yous we get at the end of the day, the gifts we get from the community on the EMS truck, knowing that we performed an intervention that may or may not have saved somebody's life.
Right.
That's what fuels me to keep coming back. So as far as it is, I get my fuel from where it's getting pulled from. That makes it's all full circle. Knowing
you need it, that's what keeps you going.
Absolutely. Knowing that I'm needed. Absolutely.
Right. That's serious, man. As far as family is concerned, our concern, what is it like when they think, okay, I know when we hear about a fire, do they have these conversations with you like, hey, if we read about a fire or an emergency, immediately like, is Will okay? Well, is it that kind of conversation going on?
They had that conversation at first, but then they realized, I mean, they're used to this from back in the military and even before then, back playing football and everything. Like, they're used to it. They know that, they're like, as soon as they hear my names about it, they're like, he's good.
He's good.
Yeah, they ask me about what kind of crazy stories I have, and I don't have very many as of right now. I'll tell them.
Not yet.
But they do ask about that type of stuff, and they'll check in every once in a while. But they all got things going on too. I come from a family. I'm real lucky to have brothers and sisters like the ones I got. I got a sister that owns a business. I got a brother who is coming up in many different facets. I mean, he's multi-talented. My baby brother, I'm getting him on track, but he's held the same job since he was 16 and now he's 25. So as far as it goes, we're definitely doing well for the Rivers name.
Wow, that is serious. I mean, 16 to 25, same gig.
Absolutely.
2 things. How has your upbringing with your mom and dad prepared you to be where you are today? And how has the military prepared you for the different jobs you're doing now?
Well, as far as upbringing is concerned, we didn't have the best upbringing. Our upbringing was rough. We literally were splitting peas. Splitting beans down. It was rough. I could go into detail, but that'd be a whole nother 2-hour conversation. But what it's prepared us for is the fact that watch my mom be resilient and everything that she was. Growing up, the way that she, regardless of how sticky it got, how bad it got, and how things, were always going for the South, we never, ever, ever, had to worry about anything. I mean, we went nights without, without water, lights food, and things like that, food and stuff like that, but at the same time, we're still here. None of her children are in jail, none of her children are selling drugs or anything like that. She raised us, and we bounced off of her example. You know what I mean? Because she laid that foundation there, because she didn't have it easy for her either. Nothing was given to her. I remember my mother when she got had her first heart attack, and she lost her job and everything like that, and was still waiting on disability and had nothing coming in. At 4 o'clock in the morning, while she thought we were still asleep, she was going and crushing soda cans just to get money enough to pay the rent. You know what I mean? So as far as it goes, you know, I come, you know, go get it is in my blood.
Absolutely.
You know, go get it is in my blood. And as far as it goes for the military,
seeing what your mom did during adversity,
absolutely,
how she didn't quit,
absolutely, it
makes no excuses for you guys.
Exactly, it became a culture in our
right,
household. You know,
right.
that just comes with it at this point.
No excuse
you know?
to fail.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've ever saw growing up is her just. It didn't matter. There was always a way. You just had to figure it out. It may not be easy, but you had to figure it out. You know.
Ms. Rivers, hats off to you. Awesome queen. The military, how has that prepared you for all you're doing now?
The military, they just built on what my mother said. I mean, the way we grew up. So it was an easy transition into the military because, you know, a lot of the stuff that they try to take away, I never had anyway. You know, so they would, when we went through boot camp, you know, the hardest part of boot camp for me was learning the terminology and learning what to do. So as far as everything else,
you already knew how to do it out.
Right. Like a sleep, like a food, things like that. You always had that, you know. Yeah. So as far as it goes, the military showed us that. I mean, all it did was reinforce what we grew up learning, and the fact that there's no backing down, there's no backing out. Failure is not an option. It's either do this or die. It's either do or die. That's what the military brought, especially the Marine Corps, and then being the few, the proud, and everything has to be bunch of, in the highest tradition of the United States Marine Corps, a high standard. That's what, all it did was it solidified it and gave it a purpose. Right. So that, along with the upbringing, is how now I can handle working 3 jobs and going to school.
That's serious, dude. What's the difference between an EMT and a fire and working for the fire department?
Well, you have to have an EMT certification in at least this city to be a firefighter. So it's part of it, but the EMT handles the medical portion. The EMT is an emergency medical technician, and you just pretty much handle stabilization and transport to the hospital. Okay. On the fire truck, we're the first responder. We usually get there before anybody, and once we get there and we arrive on scene, we'll stabilize them until the EMS comes, and we can pretty much do most of our calls. We can handle the majority of it until they get there, and then we need them for transport. We don't transport nobody on these fire trucks to the hospital. Okay. Oh, because you couldn't. Right. It's not made. That'll be serious, right? They enjoy it. They're not like too sick. They like it. Woo! Right, exactly. Yeah, so you have to have the EMT certification to become a firefighter. Absolutely. Tell me what the camaraderie is around here. Camaraderie, it's a brotherhood. Right. It's a brotherhood. That's what kind of attracted me to it coming out of the military in the first place, is that I will never get another brotherhood like I do Marines. I mean, I can walk the streets right now. We can walk down University right now and past the gas station, and if a Marine came out, I know it. Just instantly. You know what I mean? It's that deep. There's nothing that can compare to that. The only thing that's close to that, that's even stronger than that, is just blood relation. Wow. You know what I mean? But that's serious. Yeah, Marine Corps, that type of camaraderie. But this fire department camaraderie is similar. Right. It's similar. I've been in classes with firefighters from all across the state, and it's all the same. It's just like being there, meeting them for the first time. It's like we've always been around each other. It's a brotherhood, and it really is. It's very, very, very family oriented. Right. Just like, here in a few minutes we're gonna go and we're gonna eat supper together as a family. Right. And we do things as a family. We, pray. Absolutely. We pray before we eat. Right. And we talk about, if anything is bothering somebody, we talk about it as a family. I mean, it's really, really family. It's a brotherhood. Does that play a big role in most of the guys here? Is faith? Oh, absolutely. So when you go out and you hear a call, first thing y'all do, you're thinking about prayer, God protect us. Oh, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Going back to your family, when you have a job like this, when you know there are going to be some losses. So take us through your loss. Well, I lost my mother first. Out of all them, I lost my mother first. I was about maybe 2 years out of the military. I was working at BE Aerospace, and I got a call the night before from my siblings, and they called me, blew up my phone. I was asleep. I woke up the next morning, I had 27 missed calls, and it was all my siblings. And I was like,
You
all
knew
right, this
something
can't be
was wrong.
good. Yeah, this
Right,
can't be good.
right.
So instead of going to work, I just went straight to the hospital, you know, and so we got to the hospital, and I got the rundown of everything that went on, just for the sake of everything, you know. There was a lot of stuff that went wrong that shouldn't have, based off of the reports and everything like that. That should have been. There's stuff that was overlooked, stuff that was just complacent, things like that shouldn't have happened. That she shouldn't have had to, you know, it shouldn't have went to that extreme.
Right.
And then so when we got in there, I'm not going to mention the hospital's name or anything like that. It went from bad to worse, and it was dealing with the staff and things like that there too, and it was just a whole lot of.
And this is your rock.
Absolutely. So this is, you know, and it just pretty much went downhill, and she passed away there. And when she passed away there, you know, it left a feeling that was indescribable. You know, it was anger on a level that was so dark that I didn't think I'd ever come out of it. It was, I mean, it was I went to a place that I didn't ever foresee myself or anybody else going in, and I didn't know if I'd ever didn't care to know if I'd ever come out of it.
Right.
But not long after that, you know, and this is the thing this is the thing about God and the thing about my mother too. She left stuff around the house. I don't know if she knew that it was coming close or whatever, but she herself, beyond the grave, pulled me out of it. Because I find stuff when I was going through her stuff or whatever, and she told me how I need to be acting, you know, up and through now. I have it. I mean, I could go to my dresser right now and grab some of this stuff and show you where, you know, where she had this envelope, and she had scriptures, and she had, you know, for just everything that I needed to prepare myself for the transition after she passed away, written on this envelope, you know, verses and how she knew I was going to feel, because she knew me better than I knew me, and how to deal with it. And step by step, I held my mother's hand and got out of that hole that I dug myself into.
She was your rock in the flesh and in the spirit.
Absolutely.
That's serious right there, bro. And then you lost your grandparent.
Oh yeah, I lost my mother. I mean, I lost my grandmother, and that was around the same time, and it was another similar situation. And like I said, it was just dealing with that in a whole, just without saying it. It was just I strongly dislike the way things were done when it came down to it.
Right. And with that, you said you know, look, after Howard saw what happened to my mom and my grandmother, I will make sure that no one has to go through something like that. And that's one of the things that
everything in my power to make sure that nobody has to feel the way that I felt. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I guess that's where I'm going back to. Because of that, it prepared you very well for this. And also to be prepared for disappointments and how to come out of those disappointments. Because your mom set a blueprint for
Absolutely.
you. That's fantastic,
She set a blueprint, and I mean, did the footwork, the foundation, all of it. You know,
that's serious.
All I had to do was build the house. Everything was set out for it.
Now you got a business that is right there in the middle.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us about that and what you look forward to doing with it.
Oh yeah, well, my business is called Factory Elite 24/7. It's sports performance and personal training, and what it's really geared towards is young athletes between the ages of 5 and maybe 18, and just going through learning how to persevere, especially coming from the inner city where I grew up, how to transition from, because the inner city kids have the most talent, but they just have no guidance. So as far as the guidance is concerned, as far as knowing when to shut your mouth, knowing how to, how to make your schoolwork work for you, how to get your views right. Then, we can talk about the athletic side. The athletic side comes easy because all their parents did was go outside, come back when the street lights come on. So they'll play, outside all the time. But as far as getting the mental preparedness, the mental toughness, and getting them prepared that, how to handle disappointments. Like, for instance, if they've been working all summer and they were promised a start position, this is where a lot of them go wrong. And a lot of people don't understand it. They get promised something and then it gets snatched up under them, and then they're just told to deal with it. Then they just give up on school, give up on everything else, and then they go, okay, well, I know how to make money quick, and go talk to the guy on the corner that's flashing. How to understand, just getting them prepared for that type of stuff. So, just getting them from that that bare basic, you know, stereotypical level of being good athletically but horrible anywhere else,
Character
to
building,
becoming
right.
elite me and being great in all facets of whatever talent you have.
Absolutely.
So sports performance training is not just, it won't just encompass, you know, how you can get to your, you know, bring your 40 time down, but also how to bring them grades up, how to talk to people, how to dress appropriately,
Right.
you know,
That's
things of that
fantastic.
nature.
That's fantastic, man. Character goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Character goes a long way, man. That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
I look forward to you succeeding in that business, and anything I can do to partner with you, I'm right here for you.
Absolutely.
Will, man, look, next 5-10 years, where do you see yourself?
I see myself picking up rank through the fire department, owning a house, and going live with Factor Elite, you know, the revamped version, just actually getting out there to where it's, you know, it's becoming effective and it's actually changing people.
I mean, who better can teach our young people the things you talked about than you? You've been there, done that,
Absolutely.
and has a mom and grandma that left you the blueprint
Absolutely.
to continue to stay strong and stay strong, brother.
Absolutely.
Will C. Rivers, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Proud of you,
Absolutely.
brother.
Yes, sir. Thank
Proud
you.
of everything you've done.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We see y'all next week.